Well, Benjamin Lawrence, I mean, he's a real guy. He existed, he was on this mission, and he's one of the few survivors, which maybe is a spoiler, maybe he isn't. But he's kind of like, I read him as a kind of father figure to some of the younger crew coming on, and he is a dad himself, so I think he understood that, and he had a need to get back to his family, which was his main priority, really. In fact, in reality, Benjamin Lawrence became a captain after this voyage. So he was someone who really pushed himself, and he was a veteran. I mean, these guys were veterans. Even at 34, you were a serious veteran. People would start when they were, 8, 9, 10 years old on these ships. So you're looking at a man who's a good experience of the seas. Wasn't a novice in any way, shape, or form. Right, well, I haven't seen transformation. I think we're a bit like people who are losing weight and you're looking in the mirror and you can't see any difference. Even though you're doing it, you just thought, God, have I really lost? Oh, shit, I'm not losing enough weight. And then we'd all get there, we'd all be losing weight at the same time, so no one could really tell that we were losing weight. So I'll find out how it actually received on camera. I mean, it did feel, it was strange. It was strange. As I was saying earlier, the hardest part was being surrounded by donuts and really nice cakes that the rest of the crew were eating while we were sort of having to refuse it. And there were times of picking each other up, saying, hey, come on, we can do this. And especially, so some of the younger guys found it very tough going at times. And so I think we started to kind of become our characters off set as much as we were on set, all supporting each other. And then we had Godfather on, who was, singing to us, keeping us going, reminding us that we were doing a good job and that he was really proud of us. And I know that sounds really wet, but actually at the time when you're really on your last legs and your vision's going and you're dreaming about weird things during the takes because your head's gone off somewhere because you're that tired and your body's shutting down, to hear somebody just say, look, it's working, it's just what you want to hear. So it was definitely worth it. And there were times when it was good fun too, I have to say. It wasn't all gloom and doom, not at all. I mean, Ron is a huge part of that choice, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Obviously, I know his films. Obviously, how could I not know his films? I was eating out on his films when I was younger, all the way from Splash, which I didn't even know he directed until quite a bit later on, and then Apollo 13, which he likened to this. Even Backdraft, which I thought was a great film when I was younger, and then the script. Yeah, I did like the script. There seemed to be a genuine. I like telling historical stories about people that matter, and if we're representing people that existed, then I think it's important to do them justice as much as we could, and that sort of kept us going. And it's nice to tell those stories, like whether you're doing World War, like with Birdsong, or in this case with Heart of the Sea. It's and the novel. If you've read the novel, Phil Newbrick's novel, is phenomenal. I think the toughest scene. I was going to say the toughest scene was when we had to, turn to cannibalism in order to survive on the boats, and I think we were on our last legs at that time, and that was. But weirdly enough, I don't think that was the toughest. That was probably one of the easier scenes, only because we were so emotionally distraught by then that it was. It was such a powerful moment. It's the non-powerful moments which are harder to shoot, like knowing there's a whale going onto the boat, but we haven't got an actual whale going onto the boat, and having to do that kind of stuff. I think that's probably the hardest part. I think this is really about nature and man, and the futility of man facing nature, and ultimately, you can't overcome nature no matter what you do. So I think it's really that's kind of the story. I think it's probably really apt at the moment with the summit going on about our environment and the world, and to say, look, as much as we try and harness and harvest and do what we do with this world, we are ultimately, we're slaves to it in some ways. We're not slaves, that's the wrong word. We're just, we're part of it. We're part of it, but we need to allow that to get on, and it will win. It will win.